What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Cocteau Twins. And we're gonna go to the album Treasure, though if I have somehow skipped over more EPs, do let me know and we can circle back and get those. But I'm pretty sure that the next album after Head Over Heels, which we recently finished, is Treasure, which is 1984, and I actually have a 1991 reissue CD, courtesy of Doug. Big shout out to you. I did note there's some confusion over the track listing. In Doug's notes, he mentioned that his favorite tune is Lorelei, but he suggested it's 3, not 2 as it's shown here. But I looked up, with the help of the matrix on the inner part of the CD, the specific version that this is, which again is a 91 reissue, and it shows the track durations as all being in the same order of the track durations that I got when I ripped this CD. So as far as I can tell, the tracks here are in the correct order, so I guess we'll find out as we go, and if I do one that's under the incorrect name, then please do let me know. But again, as far as I can tell on Discogs, the CD is actually in the order it's listed, so either way, looking forward to Lorelei, which should be the second tune, although again, maybe the third tune. Regardless, the first track is called Evo, or maybe Ivo. It sounds like a name, but it's not one I'm familiar with. Even if it is a name, it's a single word title, so there's no context. So knowing that for Cocteau Twins, the lyrics and a specific narrative is not usually the point, as again, I continue to understand as we move through their catalog. I won't stress too hard on it, so let's just start. This is Evo, or maybe Ivo, by Cocteau Twins from their 1984 album Treasure, though once again, this is a 1991 reissue.
Paper, peach blow, Pandore, Pompadour, Piggy, be sweet, you say.
Industrial metallic. Guitar a bit reminiscent of like a Smiths track. Like a whip snare. collapse through a band song. Some folks mentioned that as we went forward, we would hear more layered Elizabeth Fraser, and that feels, certainly a step in that direction. There's a couple moments, including part of the latter half of the tune, where it's just one line isolated, but again, in a number of parts, there were multiple types of Fraser singing, like surrounding the contours of the track. So, yeah, it sounds like it was a name, but I'm not sure. Like, I did hear what I thought was the title, and in a sort of context that made me think it was a name, but ultimately I don't know what's happening with it. And again, I'm aware that in some cases with their tracks, there's no clear answer to that. So either way, a cool tune that seemed to mix some heavier sounds. Again, I think it was technically like a bell, but it was struck in a way that it sounded metallic, and like, the like large metal beams being moved about by cranes and so on. It had like that type of quality. As I think I mentioned, the snare for part of it had a whip quality. It didn't sound like a proper snare, but almost like a whip. The guitar work, lush, rich, and with the acoustic guitar sort of contrasted with those heavier sounds that I mentioned. And again, in a way that, at least for a moment, was making me think of some of the Smiths tunes. And yeah, ultimately, not crazy dark, but not crazy light either. This sort of ethereal, it's an alternate dimension, but you're not quite sure the characteristics, good or evil. So, yeah, I enjoy the tonal, extra dimensional quality, but without necessarily knowing whether it was dangerous or alluring, maybe both. So yeah, a cool tune, a cool opener. As I said, I've been looking forward to this album for a while. Big shout out to Doug once again. I really do appreciate it. And, people mentioned, obviously, I've been going through enough Cocteau Twins reactions that I've heard different opinions over time. I've heard a number of people say this was a really good album and one to look forward to. I did hear a couple people say in regard to earlier tracks like that, for me, this is peak Cocteau Twins and nothing they did after this is as good, which at least implicitly would suggest that, they don't view this album on the same level as others. So as always, I'm curious to hear how people engage with the music, especially when I'm going through it for the first time, because sometimes I have impressions about tracks where then, like, even fans of a group or an artist are like, meh, for me this is maybe a skipper, and it's like, oh shoot, really, that's crazy, like, I really engage with it. So I am always wondering, how much of what a tune hits me with is more of a consensus or more of an anomaly. So in any case, I'll stop jammering on, but do let me know what you think of the tune as well as the album overall. And as I said, we'll keep an eye on the track list as we go forward, but when I looked at the durations ripped from this CD and the ones shown for the track list in this order on Discogs, it seemed to line up. So in any case, we'll figure it out as we go. Do let me know what you think of this. I will see you next time. Peace.